Hello, professional certification students. I'm so glad you're here this year. I'm very excited about this course, and I'm very excited about the opportunities that you're going to have. This year is not going to look necessarily the way that I would like for it to. I don't think it's going to look the way any of us would like for it to, but we're going to make the most of the opportunities that we've been given, and I'm very excited to have you here in the classroom. Now, you're listening to this video and you're watching this video for a number of reasons. Number one is, of course, the fact that we are all in a situation that we'd rather not be in. And because of that, because of the circumstances, I'm going to be teaching in some different ways this year. And of course, you are in a classroom while I'm teaching to other students. And that's the other reason. Typically, I would have been able to spend a little bit more one-on-one time with you, but because of the circumstances that we have with the COVID stuff going on, I'm going to have to dedicate a little bit more of my time and energy to the other classes that are going on around you. And so a lot of the teaching and a lot of the direct instruction that I'll give you will likely come in a format like this. As a bonus, you get to see more of me without a mask than pretty much any other student will. So you're in a classroom here, likely with some game design students or some introduction to engineering design students, and you might also be alongside some principles of engineering students. So each different group of students has their own space in the classroom, and you guys get the best space. You get the fancy chairs and the fancy computers. Now, we've not had an opportunity yet to assign you your own laptops, and it is a goal I have this year at some point to assign each of you a laptop that can run the software that you are being trained in. Because of a number of reasons this summer, we've struggled with laptops and being able to get laptops set up the right way. It's going to be some time before IT is able to get you the machines that you need in order to learn appropriately. And excuse me, I'm still working with them to get that set up right. But fortunately, we do have the best desktops in the entire district right here in this room, and you'll be able to use them for the time being. To start doing your learning here. So I encourage you to spend some time getting used to them and getting prepared to work on them while we're working with that. So you have this nice space here to work. You have this nice opportunity to learn here in this location. So I'm going to be going through my first day stuff here with you virtually. I'm going to go through a number of these items pretty quickly because you all had me before, possibly a number of times. So you're familiar with me, you're familiar with my process, you're familiar with how I operate. So I'm going to go through those sorts of things relatively quickly and get to the things that you actually want to know. Okay, so who am I? Again, you know who I am. You've had me before. You know where I've been. You know what I like to do. You know a few things about me. This stuff is not news to you. So let me go ahead and make me smaller. You don't need me so big. You know I enjoy games and reading, technology. You know I enjoy drinking coffee, although this year I'll have a bit of a difficult time getting as much coffee as I usually enjoy because of the mask wearing, but we'll make the best of it. This is my family. My wife, Mrs. King, teaches Spanish here at the high school as well as ESL. My daughter, Julia, just turned 4 this summer, and we've been enjoying some time together. My passion and my love for flying and for airplanes has always driven so much of what I've done, and has always been a very core part of my background and how I ended up where I did. All right, so our courses look a little different this year than they have in the past. We have Game Theory and Design and Introduction to Engineering Design as our 2 introductory level courses that are side by side at the same level, both available to 9th grade students and up. Game Theory and Design is a new class starting this year that I'm very excited to be offering. You might actually be sitting alongside some Game Theory and Design students this year. We also have Principles of Engineering. They're on the other side of the room for you if they are in the same room as you are. And then Professional Certification is operating differently this year than it ever has. In the past, Professional Certification was always a independent study course offered only to students who have learned the software already in IED or in CEA and were becoming certified in that course during a half year. We are now offering Professional Certification as a full year course in the classroom every other day. What this does is it offers you the access to me for learning. It offers you access to our computers and our different types of software and our equipment that we have here in the classroom, and it also offers you the ability to become trained and certified in a piece of software that you don't already know. So you're all going to be choosing the software that you want to become certified in. I did send out emails earlier this summer to try to get a handle on what you want to become certified in. I do have a number of pieces of software installed on these desktops already. But I'm going to be asking you guys later on here to complete a survey to give me a little bit more feedback as to what pieces of software you would like to be um, certified in. So it kind of give us a little bit of background here so we can be prepared a little bit better. So that's professional certification. It'll be a very great course. I think it's going to give you a lot of opportunities to do things differently than what you've done before and to spread your wings a little bit and to try some new things. So I'm very excited about professional certification. And of course, as always, we do have our professional field experience, which is a course that's offered to our seniors who've been through our program to have the opportunity to connect with our partners in the field, to work as an engineer for a little while, and to experience what it's like to be an engineer and to do the job of engineering while they're still here in high school and experience that opportunity so that they know what it's like. Okay. My design lab rules, these are all things that you are used to and that you've experienced before. I expect you to come here to create, to stay on task, to keep things clean. That shouldn't be an issue for you guys this year. Keep it intact, especially these very nice laptops that you'll be working with. Please keep them intact, keep them safe, keep them yours. Do a good job with that. And be good to our things. Our basic courtesies this year are going to become as much, if not more important than they ever have been. Going to the bathroom and the nurse, we can only permit it to allow one person to leave for the bathroom at a time. Please don't take advantage of that. Please be expedient in the amount of time you're out of the room. Please be considerate of the other people who are in the room. I've never appreciated people lining up at my door, but this year, so much more so than ever before, please do not line up at the door. It does provide opportunities for people to bunch up, and we don't want that to happen. Additionally, our 9th and 10th grade will be leaving 3 minutes early. That shouldn't affect most of you. If you are in 10th grade, I'm going to do my best this year to remember that this is important and it needs to happen. However, I do tend to forget those sorts of things because I do work very close to the end of the bell. So I'm going to ask all 9th and 10th graders to also try to remember this and to bring it to my attention and to leave when the time comes. Additionally, if you are in 9th and 10th grade, I need you to stay outside the door, lined up along the hallway in an orderly fashion until the 11th and 12th graders leave and then come into the room so that we can try to avoid any kind of conflicts out in the hallway. There will be seats and seating charts for you folks. That's not as important. You have this nice space set aside just for you. You can kind of pick a space as yours and settle into it. I do need to know where you are, but you can settle into a nice space for yourself. I have a zero tolerance policy for cell phones. I expect your cell phones to be away and to not be used in class unless I'm specifically asking you to use them. You do not really have any required materials for this course. The engineering notebook and the class notebook don't really come into play for this class. I would still ask you to bring a pen and a pencil to class every day in case you need them. No one's permitted to visit their locker this year ever, except for during your homeroom and your flex period. I typically do not allow locker visits anyway. And everyone must wear a mask at all times. Even in my room, the largest room in the district, we do not have the space for everyone to be 6 feet apart. If you desperately need a mask break, you are permitted to have one. We'll send you to the back corner of the classroom or out of the classroom into the hallway where you can take off your mask for no more than 10 minutes. This is PA law, so you may ask for a mask break for a brief time. Otherwise, you are required to have your mask on in the classroom at all times. Grading and attendance policy is not changed. For you folks, this is going to be a little different. You're not going to have a lot of grades in this course. For the most part, what I'll be asking is to have check-ins where you show me your practice tests and you show me where you're at on a somewhat regular basis. That will be your primary form of grading in this class, and it's going to be relatively flexible. I'll show you what the practice test interface looks like later, and I'm going to expect you to use your practice tests to kind of demonstrate your competency. All assignments will have a due date. Again, for you guys, it's not quite as big a deal, and really not a lot of late work going on. I expect you're here because you want to get work done. So I expect you to do that. We have had in the past people who we've paid for tests for them, and they've chosen not to take them, and they failed the course, and we've spent money on them that has gone unused. And that is upsetting. I expect if you're here because you want to learn software, you want to become certified in it. We're excited about that, but we want to make sure that you do actually use that. You won't be using laptops for the most part this year, but if it comes to it, you are welcome to use the laptops that we have. Our learning systems. Let me show you Schoology, our YouTube page. You won't be using Project Lead the Way, but I'm going to show you a few of those other things here in a few minutes once we get to our course-specific information. As far as COVID-19 prep, we all know the kind of circumstances that we are in. We all know that we need to be prepared. There could come a day where we were in class on a Wednesday, and on a Thursday we are now working from home for a number of different reasons. The entire school could be closed, our class could be quarantined, or you yourself could be asked to be quarantined. Any of those things are possible and probable at any time during this school year, so we all need to be prepared for any circumstance. I'm asking you to take everything home. Anything you think you might need to be prepared to learn, take it home with you. Test your home internet. This class is going to ask you to watch videos to learn. It's going to ask you to possibly download some videos to learn. It's going to ask you to go on Schoology, that sort of stuff. Access Gmetrics from home. Once we get laptops that you guys can use, I need you to test them at home as much as possible and see what works and what doesn't work. And report back to me. Let me know what works and what doesn't work so we can be prepared. And if you need some help with your home internet, we can help you. Figure out a place at home that you can work safely, quietly, has a neutral background. It's not you sitting on your bed. I don't want to see your bed. I don't want to see your bedroom necessarily. If you can find a place in your bedroom that's a quiet corner where I don't have to see your clothes all over the place, maybe you can use that. But find a quiet corner that you can work that's nondescript and is yours if you can. Ask me ahead of time for materials and for help. If there's something you think you might need, ask for it. Especially for you guys, you're going to need things installed on laptops, on desktops, and that kind of stuff. And we have ways of doing that, but it's best if we can do it while you're still here. There's nothing I can't install for you while you're here. While you're at home, it's very hard. So it's better to ask now. Wash your hands all the time. I have a sink here. Wash your hands before you touch a desktop, before you touch a chair. Wash your hands. Keep them clean, please. Be considerate of people. We're all struggling in different ways. We all have different opinions and different thoughts on things. Be considerate of people and take care of each other, please. If you're not feeling well, stay home. Please, we will be considerate of your time as well. We will help you to make things up. We will help you to deal with things that you're missing. But please stay home if you're sick. And know where to access all class materials. If there are things that you need to access for the course and you're not sure how to access them, ask now. Ask ahead of time so you can be prepared. Let's go to our professional certification course here and take a look at our specific information for this class. Your class is meeting every other day in this classroom. All right. If you are here for one slot, that means if you are here every other day in one period, that's one slot. You're learning one piece of software. I'm not doubling up. We're not doubling up the pieces of software in one slot. One slot is one piece of software, is one certification test. As far as I know, I have only one student who has signed up for multiple periods in this class or multiple slots in this class. If you have any concerns with that, please talk to me. But my understanding is we have one slot, was one piece of software. We have a 3-part learning system built into this course. The way you're learning in this course is we provide you with virtual training. I have all sorts of different places I can go to provide you with virtual training. I'm going to assume you know nothing. If you know things about the piece of software you're being trained in, that's great, and that helps. But I'm going to assume you don't know. And then if you can skip through the training, that's even better. Then we have practice tests. The practice tests simulate what the real test will look like. So you do the virtual training, you become comfortable. You take a practice test. The practice test will tell you what you don't know. You then come back and retrain. Get into the virtual training. Ask me for help. Say, hey, I need to know this. I didn't know it, and my virtual training didn't help. Where can I find this information? I will find it for you and help you to retrain. Take the practice test again. and then retrain again. And keep doing that until you feel you are ready to certify in the software. Along the way, I will be giving you assignments for things to create in your software. This will come after an initial practice test. Once you do some training and take a practice test and say, hey, I'm starting to get my feet wet. I'm starting to feel comfortable. I'm starting to feel like I know this software on some level. I'm going to start giving you assignments, things to create in your software, things to make, things to design in that software. And then we'll go from there. And then, of course, the last piece is your final certification test. You might be ready to certify in January. It doesn't mean you're done with the class. There's more to create, more to make. In fact, well, if you're done that early, we will have an opportunity for you to make essentially your masterpiece, the thing that you show us that you have mastered the software and become certified, which is even better. So what we need from you as at a bare minimum is being able to pass the certification test by the end of the year, but you might have an opportunity for even more than that depending on how the year goes. And my background and inspiration, how did we get to this place? Certiport is a company that we've worked with here at the high school for a while. Mrs. Keck teaches a number of different certification classes through Certiport. And I realized that we were teaching most of the requirements for becoming certified in Inventor and in Revit in a couple of our classes. And I realized as graduation requirements were changing, and I realized that in the engineering field, software certifications were greatly valued, more so even often than college degrees, that we could provide a service here at the high school where we could extend the year a little bit, maybe provide you with an opportunity to become certified in something that you already knew. As we spent time doing that the last couple of years, I realized that this could be more. We had people who wanted to become certified in software that we didn't teach here at the high school. And we broadened our access to learning materials beyond what we had initially. And I realized that this was an opportunity for students to get access to certifications they would not necessarily have had access to before. I was very excited to be able to offer that this year in a new way than we have had the ability to do in the past. Our course-specific expectations: wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Be a self-starter. I need you to be the sort of person who knows what you want and knows how to get it. I need you to be passionate and know where you want to go in life and push for your needs. Know where to find your resources and don't be afraid to ask for help. This is a class where you're going to be asked to do things on your own. Now, in the past, very much so, that was even more true because this was an independent study. Now that you're in the classroom, you have more access to resources, more access to me, and more access to help. I'm asking you still, especially with this year's trials that we're going to be going through, I'm asking you to be a self-starter and to ask for help. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. You're also going to have less attention from me this year than I would like for you to. Usually when I'm speaking to the class, I will not be speaking to you. My overarching teaching in the classroom will be to the lower levels. And I will expect you to know what you need to do by going to Schoology and looking at what's going on. I might give you some direction each day, but for the most part, I expect you to know what you need to do and to seek me out when you need help from me. All right, let's go through a resources tour. I'm going to show you our Schoology page, our YouTube channel, G-Metrics, which is our practice test application, Certiport.com, and Zoom. Let's go through those right now. So let's do Schoology. Here's Schoology. This is our Schoology page here. And I have a few resources on here to start with. I have Mr. King's YouTube channel, and I'll show you that in just a moment. G-Metrics and Certiport, links for those pages. A folder where I'll put your training materials. I'll put general training materials in there, and I'm going to assign them to people individually, and I'll give you an opportunity to have access to specific training materials and even folders for specific types of software. And a day one survey that I want you each to complete as soon as you're done with this video. Okay, so let's take a look at Mr. King's YouTube channel. This is Mr. King's YouTube channel. I need you to subscribe to this year. This is a requirement for the course. It's not because I want to push my YouTube channel. It's not because I'm monetizing this or anything along those lines. This is because this is where your information will go. When I create a video for you to watch, when I create training like I'm doing today, when I'm creating something that I want you to see, it will go here. You'll notice a 2020 POE playlist. there will be a 2020 certification playlist, and that's where everything for your class will be. And all the information for you will be there. So you will see everything that you need to know in that playlist, and all the videos I create for you will be available to you right there. So I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel because this will be an easy way for you to access all the video content I've created for you. Okay. Next up is Gmetrics. Let's take a look at Gmetrics. Gmetrics.com is our practice test location. So actually, let me go to here and sign in. And I actually need to sign into our management software. So Gmetrics admin console, because I need to get us some access codes. So I'm going to show you, we don't have any access codes. That's fun. There we go, access codes. All right, so we have access codes for our ACU single application. That is our Autodesk certified user. If you are taking anything that has to do with Autodesk or a piece of software that's made by Autodesk, we have that. And we have Unity certified user. So I'm going to go ahead and create these codes here. And we're going to go JHS. All right. So notice a few interesting things here as I'm making these codes. You guys get to see a little bit behind the scene. I can create up to 10 students can use these codes, and each student can use the code 30 times. So 30 times 10 is the total number of tests that can be taken. So that gives us a lot of flexibility here with our certified user exams. So let's go ahead and confirm that and create those. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to access codes and create codes and do it for Unity certified user, identify JHS, and Unity actually allows for up to 100 tests per user, and we have 5 users. So we're going to go ahead and confirm and create, and then I will access codes, create codes, and do it for our courseware as well. Just confirm. Oh, I got to select and confirm. All right, so a little inside baseball there. So if I come back to access codes here, I can see all of our access codes now. So let's go ahead and grab one of our access codes. I'm actually going to go to Unity certified user here, details, access codes, and I'm going to grab this one here. All right, I'm going to give you each an access code. I'm going to come over here to our Gmetrics portal. This is installed on those desktops, and it's going to be installed on whatever laptop you end up having as well. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock content. I'm going to paste my code in, redeem it, and I've got a Unity test. So your test will show up here based on what you are learning. You can click on this here, Unity certified user, and then you'll see there's 2 different tests, and that's true for whatever you're taking. If you're taking Maya or you're taking Fusion 360 or Inventor or Revit or whatever, you'll see 2 different versions of the test. And I recommend that when you go through your testing in Gmetrics, you swap between the 2 tests equally so you can get used to different sets of questions. You'll also notice both tests have a training mode and a testing mode. Training mode will give you an easier way to take the test. It's untimed, it will give you hints, it will walk you through it. So of course you'll use training mode earlier on, And then testing mode is like a regular test, like the actual certification test will be. Testing mode will be timed. It will give you no hints. It will take you through just like the real test would. So Gmetrics is going to be our testing platform of choice that you're going to use to do your practice test. And I will ask you for a screenshot of a testing mode test or a screenshot of a training mode test so I can see that you're doing the work that you're being asked to do. Okay, so that is Gmetrics and what Gmetrics looks like. Certiport.com. If you go to Certiport, you click on that button and it will take you here. You have to register the Certiport account. And I'm going to tell you that both your Gmetrics account and your Certiport account belong to you as a person. They don't belong to you as a student. They don't belong to the school. So when you create your Gmetrics account and your Certiport account, I want you to create them with your own information, with a username that you want to keep the rest of your life. Don't create, crazy person 231. Create something. It's a name that you want to use for the rest of your life. Make it be professional and use your own personal information. If you have a personal email address, I highly recommend you use it for this. If you don't, we can change it later if we need to. But you're going to register for this account. You're also going to register for the account for Gmetrics now too. When you get a chance to here, you're going to go no account, sign up here. You're going to create an account for Gmetrics as well. Once you do, you're going to log in. And you are going to be a test candidate. You won't have a proctor page. And your test candidate page will have all of your tests that you've taken and all your information about those tests and how you did. You can create your transcripts. You can create certificates from there and all that kind of stuff and manage your tests through Certiport.com. So we're going to create Gmetrics accounts and Certiport.com accounts as soon as you're done with this video, along with completing this day one survey here. So that's your initial things I'd like you to do. These next couple of days here is complete the day one survey and create an account for Certiport.com and Gmetrics.com. None of those things require specific software or specific skills. I just need you to create those. I also want you to come to Mr. King's YouTube channel and subscribe. So click link, 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 and do each of these things on our Schoology page here so that we can all have that stuff completed. Lastly, I want to show you Zoom. Zoom is the video conferencing platform of choice that we'll be using this year if we are not together. This will be if we are learning virtually, all home. If you are home for quarantine or whatever and you need to get access to me and chat with me about something, Zoom is what we're going to be using. So let me go ahead and launch Zoom here and show you what it looks like. So lots of ways for me to create information for you to use with Zoom. I could have a link that you click on. I could send you a message with a link in it. Lots of different ways for me to create something for you to see with Zoom. Let me go ahead and quickly turn off my webcam here and create a new meeting. And here's Zoom. So I'm just going to give you a very quick, very brief tour now. If Zoom was something that we were using every day for our conversations, for our meetings, etc., I would go through and give you a lot more detail with what we would be doing with Zoom. But Zoom is pretty straightforward. I would require your video to be on when you join a Zoom meeting so I can see who you are and confirm that you're the person I expect you to be. Typically, I'm going to prevent you with the ability to affect your mute. There's a chat over here. You can chat to me. You'll notice the reactions button down here. I'm going to give you the ability to use these as long as it doesn't become disruptive. You could react if you don't feel like saying something. I could say, "Hey, how's it going? How's everyone feeling today?" And you could say, "I was surprised by that," or "I think that's terrible," or whatever. There's these reactions here you can use. You'll also notice in the participant screen here, I could do quick little polls to say, is everybody done with this? Yep. Nope. I'm not done with it yet. I need to do a little bit more time. There's a few other ones here. Everyone could like or dislike something. I could give everyone questions, and then you can respond in here as well. So there's a few different ways for us to communicate. I can also do breakout rooms where I put each of you into little small groups, and then you can communicate from there as well. So Zoom is how we're going to do our video conferencing this year, and I will give you more information when and if that becomes a necessary thing for us to use. Okay, what's next? Complete your first day survey. Again, go to those links on our Schoology page. Sign up for a Certiport account, sign up for a Gmetrics account, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll get you your Gmetrics codes. Once I get that information back from the first day survey and I have a better idea of what we're working with and what kind of software you're learning, take a tour through the software of choice. Take a look around, get a feel for what it looks like, and explore the virtual training options I've been giving you. If you guys have any questions or need anything from me, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks, guys.